Hi everyone! By the time that you watch this video, it will be 2024, which is crazy. We just had the New Year's, and I thought I would do a video actually introducing myself for the new year. So I launched this channel, Halloween of 2023, and at that point, the only people I think who were watching were like all my friends and family that I basically texted and was like, subscribe and watch my videos, or I won't love you anymore. Just kidding. And now I have a lot of people out there who I've never met before in my entire life who are watching my videos, and I can't even tell you how much that means to me, and I really hope you keep watching. It's been really fun. I mean, my channel is growing like slowly, but it's growing, and that's really exciting. I love getting to share science with you. So today, I thought I would give you guys 10 fun facts about myself while I sew a Miss Frizzle dress, because why not? As you may notice, I am in a different room right now, and that's because this is probably gonna take me multiple days, and for some reason, my husband didn't want me to take up the entire living room where I normally film for several days. So I'm here in our TV room slash, if you can see over here, craft storage area, and we're gonna have some fun today. Let's go ahead and get started. So this is gonna be a very different video, and I'm trying out all sorts of new things with my technology, so if it doesn't quite work well or you're like, what the heck is going on with our camera, I deeply apologize. But as I mentioned in the intro, we're gonna be sewing Miss Frizzle dress today. Last year, one of my friends decided that sewing is not the crafting hobby for her and gifted me her entire fabric stash. Wonderful gift, thank you so much. And one of the fabrics it included was this lovely planet fabric. So what better thing to do with planet fabric than make a dress after the most fashionable science icon I know, Miss Frizzle. So I am going to use this planet fabric as well as this pattern using the long sleeve edition to make this Miss Frizzle dress. I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting out the patterns, and I will start coming at you with these fun facts about myself. And I did limit myself to 10 so that I would actually shut up and not talk too long and create like a 5-hour-long video. So coming at you with my first fun fact. Fun fact number 1 about myself is that I have loved science from a very young age. And probably most of you guys are like, yeah, that's not anything new. We know that. You're a nerd. And one of the things that got me really interested in science when I was little is my family lived in Washington State, and it was when I was like 2 or 3, 1, 2, 3-ish, and there was a killer whale that got stuck in the like bay or sound up there. It got separated from its pod and it got stuck and just separated, and it was on the news every day, and I would just sit and watch the news and wait for like that killer whale to come on. And ever since then, I have been hooked on killer whales, hooked on learning different types of science. I still want to work at SeaWorld, I wanted to be a marine biologist. I went through like a geology phase in 3rd and 4th grade, still really love rocks, still I think they're cool. And went to college in high school, went to a special like science and technology high school program, went to college and graduate school all for science. So science has always been a really big part of my life and something that I have tremendously enjoyed, and I'm really grateful and so excited that I get to share it with you guys twice a week through my YouTube channel. So I have all the pattern pieces out, and I'm gonna go ahead and lay them on my fabric and start to cut them out. And probably somewhere in there I will tell you another fun fact about myself. Alright, so I'm trying to get it to where you can see me cutting stuff out, but it's quite loath to do that. So you might just see me cutting stuff out without like actually seeing what I'm cutting, so sorry about that. Coming at you with fun fact number 2 is that, and some of you may have seen, I have some clues to this, is that I attended college, to my 2 colleges. The first one I attended for undergrad was the College of William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia. And there I got a double major in biology and chemistry. I actually originally started out with intending to major in biology and getting a minor in marine science, but then I had to take some intro like chemistry courses for my biology major, and I kind of ended up being like, I actually really enjoy chemistry, and I kind of miss doing it because I'm not doing it right now. I won't do a lot of it with this intended major track. What if I changed it and got my major in biology to become a marine biologist, and then added a chemistry double major on for fun, which I don't actually know if people do a major in chemistry as a fun thing. That's what I ended up doing. And during my coursework, I liked both of my classes for both my majors. I had a lot of fun. But in junior year, well, there goes my phone. In junior year, I had to take both analytical chemistry and physical chemistry, which are kind of like the two most dreaded chemistry classes at my school that people were like, ugh. And you took them the same semester. So people were like, oh my gosh, this is awful. And I loved both of them. I had a really, really good time with analytical chemistry, learning about all the different instruments you use to do chemistry, how things work, how you really make sure that what you're measuring is what you're measuring. It was really interesting to me. And I really liked physical chemistry as well, because it was kind of that moment where everybody went, hey, you know all those things in science we've been teaching you this entire time? They are not technically true because of quantum mechanics, and now we're going to teach you like all this really tiny weird chemistry and physics that's happening at the molecular, like atomic level. And it was really interesting. So from there, I decided to kind of, I still was doing my two majors, but then I started really liking chemistry more and decided that I wanted to go to grad school for chemistry. And at the time, this is all over the place. I did a lot of stuff in college. At the time, I was doing research in a marine biology lab. William & Mary has a really good research program. So I was doing undergraduate research in a marine biology program, studying sea star larvae. So we're familiar with starfish, looking like stars, super cool and stuff. And I was doing experiments on little tiny baby sea stars, which actually looked nothing like what starfish look like. And how my research was on sea star larvae, and they do something that's called cloning. So we may be familiar with like a starfish. If you rip off its arm, will regrow its arm. A sea star larvae, or a baby sea star, can actually rip itself in half and regrow the other half of it, and make from one larvae to turn it into two larvae. So I studied the environmental factors that kind of led to cloning in sea star larvae, and part of that included going out to the San Juan Islands off the coast of Washington State, one of my favorite places in the world, and studying the larvae and working at the summer there, which is where I spent a lot of time in tide pools, collecting starfish, collecting sand dollars, sea urchins, all sorts of marine organisms, and doing research there. So by the time I was thinking about switching into chemistry for kind of going to grad school, I needed to get some chemistry research under my belt. I had a year and a half of biology research that I had been doing, and I was like, I need some chemistry research. So I ended up switching into a chemistry lab and studying there's a physical chemistry lab, and I was studying a topic in atmospheric chemistry that had to do with how certain molecules absorb the light. So you may be familiar with the greenhouse gas effect, where you have carbon dioxide traps a lot of heat into the atmosphere. And there are a lot of other molecules in the atmosphere that trap heat or absorb the sun's energy and makes it hotter on the planet. Well, I was studying those, specifically how it was a really complicated project that I didn't quite fully understand everything as I was doing it. But specifically how one particular molecule, how the shape of it changed when you combined it with water, and how its shape impacted how it absorbed light, which is really kind of crazy. I used lasers and a lot of computational calculations. So I was kind of doing some computer programming, some computational chemistry, which is some wild stuff. But it was really interesting, and that led to getting actually one of my first paper publication, and I did a senior honors thesis all that research of just looking at how this molecule changed shape when you added water to it, and how that shape change, just the shape of how like the molecule itself, could affect how well it absorbed or didn't absorb light. That's what I did in college, and I applied to grad school, and I ended up going to Purdue for graduate school because they have really good analytical chemistry program. And I joined another atmospheric chemistry lab because I really enjoyed doing environmental science, because it felt like a good kind of combination of like, this is chemistry, but this is chemistry that helps the environment, can actually help people. And it's a little difficult to talk about, but so I entered grad school with the intent to complete a PhD program. It's doing really good. I was working on a project that involved nanoplastics being released into the atmosphere, and I've gotten several co-authors and one publication from that as a result of that project. And it's a really interesting project. I had really good lab mates, and I made a lot of really good friends while I was at Purdue. But here's a not so fun fact about me. I am probably my own worst enemy. I put a lot of pressure on myself to be like as great as I can be, and I never think that what I'm doing is good enough. And grad school was just not fun for me. I was putting way too much pressure on myself, was not having a good time, was starting to really hate chemistry, was starting to hate my project, hate everything around me, and just like not enjoying it. Grad school was a rough time. I was having a particularly rough time. And so I made the decision to end up switching to a master's degree. And so I graduated with a master's degree in analytical chemistry from Purdue this past year, or like May 2023. And that was really hard for me. Everybody was like, oh, am I supposed to be even cutting this on the fold? Whatever, if I'm not, I'll just cut it in half. Everyone was like, oh, you went to grad school, you got a degree, and I'm coming to terms with that being success, because all I could see at the time was I didn't do what I set out to do, that is, get a PhD, and now I'm a failure, and it was and still sometimes is a really big struggle in my life to think about, just like, I accomplished something and I should be proud of it. So ever since then, I have been in kind of a period of recovery and learning to love like science again, learning to love chemistry and biology and those things again. And this YouTube channel has actually been a really big part of me getting excited and getting happy again, which is something that I've definitely seen my mood improve. And I'm really, like, the past couple of months, and I'm really just back to enjoying life, which is a fantastic success. So that was a lot to deal with. And we're only on fun fact number 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish cutting out all these pattern pieces, and I will see you when we get to start sewing them together. I think I'm in frame. I'm gonna pretend that I am in frame and go ahead and start ironing real quick. So then I'm gonna shoot at you fun fact number 3 real quick, and that is the fact that I have no YouTube video or content creation background whatsoever before starting this. I literally downloaded Premiere Pro, which is the video editing software I use, like a day before I edited my first video. So everything that I've done, oh, this is shaking. Everything that I've done has been absolutely learning as I go, and I strive to make every video better than the previous video. So I really appreciate your guys' just like hanging in with me as I do who knows what the heck I'm doing, because I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and iron insert all these pieces, and I will see you in a second. And I will move this to a more secure area and see if you guys can even actually see me ironing. I'm taking a chance on that one. Okay, all of the serging and cutting and ironing, I think, is done for now. I'm sure I forgot something, but get there when we get there. So now we can finally start sewing, like an hour into the working on this. So my first step, according to my roadmap of sewing, is I have to attach the front and back of the bodice to the top pieces at the shoulder seams and then down at the side seams. So I'm going to go ahead and pin that, and while I'm pinning that, we can talk about fun fact number 4. So fun fact number 4 is that I would say that I am 95% self-taught on all my crafting skills. So I did learn, what have I done with this piece? I did learn how to sew, knit, and crochet from around when I was in actually 3rd grade. Between my old babysitter taught me how to sew and how to knit. My mom actually taught me how to crochet. And then one of my mom's friends who's really good at sewing, does like conventions and historical sewing and some crazy stuff, actually came visited, and I did like 3 days of sewing with her. But other than that, that is pretty much the extent to which I have been taught anything from like not the internet. So everything else is basically, I see something I want to make, and then I just start making it, and I Google every step that I don't understand along the way for making it. So that's how I made my periodic table sweater. I found like a pattern for periodic table squares that required you to like knit with 2 colors at the same time, and I didn't know how to do that, so I was just like, I'm gonna learn because I want to make a periodic table sweater. That's just the type of person I am. So I'm gonna go ahead. I've exchanged, if you can see, that I've exchanged out my serger for my sewing machine. I pinned up the arm seams on my dress, and I'm gonna start sewing that, and then I'm gonna sew the side seams, and I will talk to you in un momento. We have the beginnings of a top. Yeehaw! Alright, the next step is to start taking around the skirt pieces, and I just realized 2 things. 1, I forgot to cut out a skirt panel, which I was thinking seemed like a suspiciously small amount of material I had cut up so far. And 2, this pattern doesn't come with pockets, and one of the biggest benefits of making my own clothes is I can put pockets in my dresses if I want pockets in my dresses. So I'm going to go cut out another piece, cut out the pieces for the pockets, and sew up the skirt panels, and meet you back at the step where I have to gather all those skirt panels and attach them to the bodice. So see you after I do that. All right, we're back. I have put together all of the skirt pieces, and then I added a running stitch all around the top, the waistband of the skirt pieces, and I'm gonna start stitching that together and to attach it to the bodice. So I believe we are on fun fact number 5, and that is that I am able to play what I consider to be 3.5 instruments. You may be wondering where the half comes from, and we'll tell you in a second. So the first 2 that I can technically play, but probably really poorly at this point in my life, since I can't tell you the last time I picked up that, is guitar and clarinet. I played clarinet for school band, and I played guitar as part of like a hobby after school club, and I could probably still play them both today, but I haven't practiced them in years, so I can't guarantee you the quality of it. The one I do practice the most, which is still loosely because I really loathe practicing, is the piano, which I started in about middle school. And I also know how, my half I consider to be, is I also know how to play the organ. Not organ as in internal organs, but organ as in the giant multi-keyboarded pedal rocket ship control center, as I call it. And I actually took organ lessons in college at William & Mary because I needed another credit to take, and my advisor was like, over my dead body, will you take 5 science classes this semester? And I went, fine, I will take an organ lesson. So I took organ lessons and enjoyed learning how to play the organ, and I'm not really that great at it, but I actually am I play the organ for my local church congregation. So that is why I end up practicing probably the most is just because I actually have to play it every Sunday. It's very interesting. The organ is a very interesting instrument to try to play. Fun fact number 6 is that I really like to travel, and I have been very fortunate to get to travel to a lot of really cool places. So just within the United States, I've been to like Alaska a couple of times, spent a lot of time on the West Coast and kind of the West Rocky Mountain region. Overseas, I've been to Ireland, England, Wales, France, Poland with my friend one time, and then I've also been to Iceland, which was actually on a science trip. My family likes to go on science trips, go figure. We did like all the science of Iceland. It was a lot of fun. And then I also was able to go to Japan and stay with a host family, and that was a lovely experience. I love to travel, I love to see new places, and I'll get to travel hopefully this year. I'm going to Florida in a couple of weeks, and supposed to be going to Alaska again, which should be a lot of fun. Okay, I think I got these gathered enough, so I'm gonna start attaching them to my top, just somewhere in my pile of fabric. So that leads me into fun fact number 7. Actually, those two are connected. Are answered? Yeah. Is I really like to read, and Harry Potter is one of my favorite book series. So I don't know if you can take this real quick. Move you surely to not give you whiplash. See? And this entire wall is decorated with Harry Potter things, which makes me very happy. And this isn't even, I have so many more Harry Potter things that don't even fit in the house right now. But I love Harry Potter. I collect the books in different languages, which makes traveling really fun, because whenever I go to a different country, I try to find a Harry Potter book if I can. And we're actually going to Florida to go to Universal Studios at the end of January for more Harry Potter. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish pinning this together, and then I'm gonna move over to my sewing machine, sew the top to the bottom, and we will have what will actually look like a dress, but it still needs sleeves and all of the collar. So I will see you after I've attached the top and the bottom together. Okay, stand back here if you can see it better. The top has been connected to the skirt. We now have basically a whole dress, and I haven't actually been paying attention to the instructions this entire time. So what sort of have? So to figure out what needs to go next, I'm gonna actually read them. The next step involves the collar. So the collar that's gonna go around the neck piece, and I've got to sew a bunch of stuff together and sew it onto the neck. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now that we have the pieces together, I'm gonna sew on the collar, and when I come back, let's see. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to go put the collar attached to it, and as soon as I have done that, I'm going to share another fun fact with you, and we're gonna go on from there. So I will see you in a second. Hi again. We have gotten the collar mostly in place. It's like sewed down, but facings are my actual literal least favorite thing ever. And I'm gonna do all the hand tacking down and stuff later on, before I'm all finished. It's one of those steps I like to do last. I had a little bit of some sewing alignment issues because, you know, if you skip steps, it gets mad at you. And I was not emotionally ready to put in the zipper at the time the instructions told me to put in the zipper. So some of my measurements are off. But the collar is on the dress. Collar is on the dress. And I'm going to get started on the sleeves in a second. But it's time for me, come on. Golly, I'm like super overproducing on top of my head. It's time for me to say fun fact number 8 about myself, which is I collect antique sewing machines. So some of you guys may have seen me say that on my Instagram. And one of my antique sewing machines was in my Jeanne Villepreux video. That is Audrey. She's from the late 1950s. It's my greenish sewing machine. I also have June, which is a sewing machine from the 1860s. And it's actually a hand crank chain stitch machine that doesn't use a bobbin. That came from my grandma. It was one of her relatives that she passed down to me. I also have Evelyn, which is a 1910 Singer 66, I think, who's supposed to go on a treadle table, but I don't have a treadle table for her, so she just is chilling. And there's Audrey. Oh wait, I should do this in time order. So after Evelyn, same year, 1910, is Tiffany. That's my most recent acquisition. She's a Singer, the serial number says she's a Singer 27, 127, but but she looks more like a Singer 15 to me. I'm not really sure. She's also from 1910, and she's actually in a treadle table, and it's super fun to use that. I got her for my birthday, and she's named after the decal pattern. That decal pattern is called a Tiffany pattern. And then there is Audrey, who I just mentioned, and then I have Grace, that is my tan machine from the 60s that I found at Goodwill for $20. Woohoo! And I actually repainted with decorations for my wedding, because I actually used all of my sewing machines, minus Tiffany, which I got after I got married, as wedding decorations. So I love my antique machines. They're so much fun to use. I'm gonna try to get to use. The only one I've managed to successfully use so far is Evelyn and Tiffany, but I do eventually want to like clean up the other ones a little bit better and use those as well, especially June. Super excited to use June because she just doesn't have a bob and it's very different than all my other machines. So that was fun fact number 8. I like to collect old sewing machines, and I just like old stuff in general. I have an old camera on my old sewing machines. They're just super fun. So now I'm going to start working on the sleeves and putting them in. So I'm gonna start they're on the floor over there. Let's consult the instructions. Say I need to sew up the seams. Okay, I'm going to sew up the seams on them real quickly. And yeah, okay. I'm gonna sew up the seams and get them ready to where they need to be inserted into the dress. And then I'll come back at you with fun fact number 9. I have gotten the side seams. This is the dress. The sleeves. Okay, we have sleeves now. I'm going to be inserting them real quick, and I'm gonna tell you about fun fact number 9. So fun fact number 9 is super fun, as all of my fun facts have been around. And that is my favorite holiday is Halloween. All right, I feel like I watch a couple of people who like to craft on YouTube, and I feel like all of them have really love Halloween and do special Halloween-y things and things like that. So I don't need to be like, oh, another crafter who likes YouTube, another crafty science person who loves Halloween. I mean, because I am, and it's totally, absolutely real. My birthday is actually on Halloween. Oh, my leg are shaking. My birthday is actually on Halloween, and I have the absolute sheer amount of fun during, honestly, starting after the 4th of July, but starting October 1st, I have a different outfit for every single day of October. Some of them, which I've made myself, some of which are purchased, and I will spend months making my Halloween costume. A couple years ago, I was Hedy Lamarr, the actress and founder of kind of the groundwork for Wi-Fi, and I made this costume that literally had me I spent weeks sewing on sequins, hand sewing on sequins for this costume, and it was epic. I really loved that costume. So I love Halloween. It makes me very upset when I see Christmassy things coming out before Halloween is even gotten there. But I also do love Christmas, and I love I love themes. I love themed things. So any kind of themed thing, any ability to make a themed outfit. I try to theme my outfits a lot on this channel. Just really I just love it. So Halloween is my favorite holiday. Actually 2 years ago, I had to attend a research conference during October to present my science research professional. But it was October, and I was like, I gotta wear a Halloween outfit, but I gotta dress professionally for this research conference with people in my field. So I literally went out and I bought I have a pair of orange plaid dress pants for the sheer purpose of having professional Halloween outfits I could wear to a research conference. And I killed it. It was fantastic. So Halloween is a fantastic holiday, and I already am thinking about what I'm gonna be for Halloween this year. So I lost my other sleeve. There it is. I'm gonna go ahead and finish attaching these sleeves and then show you what it looks like, hit you, and then come at you with this last fun fact. Oh yeah, this is what? Hello. Okay. Well, this is probably sounds terrible next to my microphone. Let me take this off real quick and just. I can't put that to my head. I don't know how long it's gonna stay there. My hair is notorious for just not accepting things in my life. Okay, here's what we're working with so far. You know, no zipper in the back, and the collar's still popping up because I haven't secured it. But it's all good. So the sleeves are in. You may notice that I haven't finished the edges of them, but I'm going to do that in the finishing steps. I wasn't sure how long they were gonna be, so I kind of wanted to like just wait off on that and finish them later. So this is where I'm gonna stop for the day. I'm gonna do all the finishing stuff and the cuffs on a different day, and then I will show you the final product and go through that and close up this video then. But my final fun fact I have for you today, you see them in the background, is fun fact number 10. That is, I love Audrey Hepburn movies and just kind of old Hollywood movies in general, specifically Audrey Hepburn movies. My favorite movie is Rowan Holiday. My wedding was actually themed a little bit after Rowan Holiday and Audrey Hepburn in general, so these giant posters, there's two over there, and then these two right here, are actually from them. They were wedding decorations that I then took home and hung up in my house. So actually Audrey Hepburn is the reason I have bangs. I didn't have bangs. And then I learned about Audrey Hepburn and became obsessed with her and cut my hair into bangs. And I still have them ever since. So that is going to be all for today, and I will see you guys when this dress is all finished. Ta-da! My Miss Frizzle dress is all done, and of course, it has pockets. I love the way it turned out. It's super cute, super fun. Love the material. I do think it's a little loose fitting up in the top, and I do wish the skirt was more twirly, but that's just the pattern I chose. If I had wanted a more twirly skirt, I should have chosen a different pattern. So that's on me, not the way this was sewn or anything like that. I hope you enjoyed this video and getting to learn a little bit more about me. I have really enjoyed making YouTube content for the past couple months, and I'm going to enjoy the future of this channel and sharing all this wonderful science and crafty content with you guys. Thank you all so much for watching and subscribing to my channel, and please make sure to share this with all of your friends and family and tell them, hey, this is really cool, you should also check it out. That would really mean a lot to me. And if you have any ideas or any sorts of content you would want to see on this channel, or any questions about science, please drop them in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them, and I'm always on the lookout to learn more about sciencey things. I hope everybody is having an excellent start to their year, and remember to please like this video, subscribe to my channel. I will continue to post on every Tuesday and Friday, and keep it sciencey.